Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beast New Generation episode number 18. So we're now 18 battles into round 1 and soon to be we're having 18 victors. But first of all we need to see which beast has a chance of being the 18th victor. But let's have a look at our competitors for today. So up on one side, which is the left side for you I believe, is Vislak the Slithering Serpent. Ooh, so creepy. And on the other side is, just had to make sure I read the title right, Skrar the Night Scavenger. Now, we got a snake versus a chimera. I believe it's a chimera anyway. But basically, this is all to be an interesting battle. Both these beasts I like fairly a lot. Like, I like both of them, one for being a snake beast and one for just being plain out awesome. So, it's going to be a tough one for me because I want both of them to make it through to round 2, but unfortunately
only one victor may be crowned. Good luck, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
And we're not having a Hunger Games thing where we're going to have 2 victors this time. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that because I don't want to eat the 9 lockberries. I watched Hunger Games recently, okay? I watched it recently, okay? I'm allowed to do that. Okay. But before we get to this fight, I think I'm going to need some help. So, Lucas, you know what to do.
Vislak the Slithering Serpent. Vislak can slither silently across the ground, or rear up as tall as a tree, to tower over his foes. Spines crest his broad head and back. Some say he can taste fear with his flickering black forked tongue. Once he's pinned you with his stare, venom squirts from his razor-sharp fangs, but it isn't poison. Once its venom hits its prey, it hardens them into resin from which there's no escape. As you can clearly tell by these incredible stats of Vislak, you're in for quite a surprise. Let's take a look. Agility shoots venom that burns and encases the foe into a cocoon. Tongue whip and tail whip. These abilities may be minimal, but they prove very effective in the tournament. Let's see how he does.
Skrar the Night Scavenger. Skrar is a hulking, muscular beast whose body is coated in spiky white fur that can burst into scorching hot purple flames. If that isn't terrifying enough, his smooth scaled serpent-like tail can knock his foes unconscious. His awesome stats show he has agility, sharp hooves, sharp snake fangs. The hooves can melt wherever they touch, can evaporate water. Large amounts do require rest, but he proves to be a cunning foe in the tournament.
3, 2, 1!
Vislak versus Skrar. Let's get into this. So, as both beasts exit from their chamber doors, Vislak slithers out, looking around for his opponent. Just trying to find his opponent. And, he can't seem to see anything apart from in another chamber, a set of glowing red eyes and what seems to be purple flames shrouding around those eyes. Vislak hisses in intimidation to try and scare the flames, but it doesn't work, and Skrar pounces out and crouches down, growling fiercely towards Vislak. I treat Skrar like a dog, but the only thing similar to a dog that Skrar has is the fact that he's a quadruped. But that's besides the point. Skrar roars at Vislak. Vislak leans back a bit and shoots out his venom that will encase Skrar and just stick him in one particular point. Skrar sees that and dodges it immediately, and then starts charging towards Vislak, where Vislak goes to shoot another bit of venom at Skrar, but Skrar's able to dodge that as well, and he pins Vislak down to the ground on his back, and using his teeth starts biting into the side of Vislak's head. Vislak gets his tail, wraps it round Skrar's body, and chucks him off. Tries to, knocks him to the side. And whilst that was happening, Skrar was able to get one good hitting on Vislak with his tail, just knocking Vislak's head to the side, causing him to drop Skrar. And Skrar then goes back to scratching Vislak from behind, but due to Vislak's scales being quite strong, no effect. So what Skrar does is that he decides that he's going to need to try and find a way to kill Vislak from the inside out. And so what he does is that he goes around to the front of Vislak and tries to bait him out to move a bit closer to where he is. He's standing against a wall. Vislak slithers up close, and whilst going up closer to Skrar, he's shooting venom towards Skrar, but Skrar's dodging all of it, to the point where Vislak is now right in front of Skrar. And what Skrar does now is that, using the strength of his entire body, he charges right into the arena wall, causing cracks to happen. And Vislak goes to snap at Skrar. Skrar sees that, jumps out of the way. Vislak headbutts the wall, causing Vislak to reel back a bit in pain. Skrar hits the wall again, causing the wall to start tumbling, and the walls kept tumbling down, causing the wall to tumble down on top of Skrar and Vislak. Skrar's able to jump out of the way though. But as Vislak was about to get away, Skrar hits Vislak in the face with his tail, causing him to just get stunned a bit, and then the wall just tumbles down on top of Vislak. After what seems like hours, Skrar assumes he's getting the victory, but then out of nowhere, the rubble starts violently shaking, and then Vislak just bursts out, covered completely in red, and he seems larger than he was. And Skrar looks towards the rubble and sees a case, or a casing for a snake's skin, if anything. And he realises that Vislak shedded his skin and used that skin as a shield, which kind of infuriated Skrar, because now Vislak's kind of uninjured. Vislak shoots venom towards Skrar. Skrar's able to dodge that again. And then he jumps right on top of Vislak and starts biting and scratching at Vislak's head and back, just trying to get him to die. Vislak just wraps his tail around Skrar and just lifts him up and smashes him into the ground. Skrar felt that pain, and whilst he's getting up, he's greeted by a shot of venom that hits him directly above one of the back legs. The venom is spreading gradually through his body to where it's causing the joint of his leg to just stick, and his tail is now harder to move. Skrar, not wanting to be trapped in this encasing, charges as quick as he can towards Vislak to tackle Vislak. That way the venom is spread onto him as well. And he's able to pin Vislak down, but Vislak is already wrapping his tail around just to lift him off again and chuck him away. Vislak also shoots him again with another piece of venom, this time hitting Skrar's chest, causing his joints to start sticking up again. What Skrar does is that he bites into Vislak's head before he's lifted off, and using all the heat he has up, he starts heating his entire body to where the venom, or the sticky ooze from that venom, now I'm calling it venom, but it's probably not poisonous, starts melting away, and Vislak releases his grip off Skrar, because even though he can take heat, not this much heat. And all of the flames, all of the heat inside Skrar has moved its way through his entire body onto where he's biting Vislak, to where the heat is going inside of Vislak through his scales. Vislak starts screeching in pain, and just smashes his head against the ground, hitting Skrar in the process. But Skrar's not letting go. He's just still summoning all his heat to bite into Vislak. Onto his teeth, just heating the inside of Vislak. And what Vislak does to try and save himself is that he shoots venom upwards, so where it just hits Skrar directly on the face, and also hits Vislak as well, where it starts spreading through them. But due to the heat, it's melting, but it's causing Skrar's heat to just die down. And Vislak realises the more venom he gets on Skrar, the heat will die down, and also Skrar's heat doesn't last very long anyway. So Vislak shoots most of the venom, or as much venom as he can, up into the air where it just lands on top of himself and Skrar. The venom is melting when it hits Skrar, but it's also causing the heat to die down, making it more tolerable for Vislak. Skrar, when he realises he doesn't have much heat left, he lets go of Vislak, not wanting to have him to rest. And what he does is he goes to whip his tail around Vislak's mouth to seal it shut, just when he was about to shoot up with venom, but it just spews out like one little jet here, one little jet here, and it doesn't hit Skrar at all, and the rest of it is just stuck inside of Vislak, which Vislak is now choking on. Vislak is using his tail to just try and remove Skrar's tail, but it's not working. So Vislak goes to hit Skrar in the mouth then, but Skrar saw that coming and bites down on Vislak's tail, causing Vislak to make a silent screech in pain. Vislak is starting to choke on his own venom, and it gets to the point where he's struggling to breathe now. Vislak can't use his tail to get out of it, and Vislak can't move his head away from Skrar's tail because of how firm of a grip that he has. Vislak tries all he can, using all his strength, but Skrar's not letting him move at all. Also, one of Skrar's feet have pinned the body of Vislak down, and is scratching, digging his claws into Vislak's side. Vislak is feeling the pain, starts choking. Then after what seems like hours, the tip of Vislak's tail just slumps down, and Vislak stops making noise. Skrar releases his grip of Vislak, and Vislak just crumbles down to the ground, with what seems like venom just leaking out of Vislak's face. When it seems like Skrar realises that he must have won, he goes back to his chamber ready for victory for round 2. But suddenly Vislak gets back up and shoots more venom towards Skrar. Skrar gets hit directly on his tail, greeted by that. He turns around in surprise, and he realises that Vislak must have faked dying just so he will release his grip off Vislak, which worked. Vislak is cunning, remember? Skrar turns around, seeing that the venom is now encased his entire tail. He doesn't want it to encase all of him more, so he charges up towards Vislak, pins him down, and using his claws pries it between Vislak's mouth. Vislak shoots more venom, hitting Skrar directly in the face. But whilst he was doing that, Skrar was pulling Vislak's mouth open to where it just opens a full 180 degrees. And then what Skrar does is that he bites on the bottom of... no, he can't. He can't bite. Never mind, ignore that, because his face is encased. The venom is quickly encased in Skrar, but Skrar, he only has his front legs left. And what Skrar does, before he loses all feeling in that, he does one extra large pull, which breaks Vislak's jaw, causing Vislak to properly slump down to the ground in defeat, and Skrar gets completely encased in his venom. After what seems like hours of Vislak just lying dead and Skrar not being able to move, the landlord is thinking, I think both these beasts have lost. But suddenly, as he goes up to clear the arena, he starts feeling a strange heat sensation from his back whilst he's cleaning the rubble. He turns around and sees that the venom on Skrar is melting away from the remains of Skrar's heat that he left. Skrar is now completely out of the casing, and looks down to Vislak, gives one more whip with his tail, and he walks back to his chamber in victory. So with that, Vislak has lost, Skrar has won. My mind kind of got away from me there halfway through that battle, especially when Vislak first slumped down. I was like, wait a minute, Vislak's smart, he would just fake being dead. So that's what I did. I think that went well. I think that was an alright battle. Not the best, but it was a good battle, and the matchup was kind of interesting, hence why it was one of the last few battles on this round. Anything I'd like to say about that? Nothing much, really. If you think Vislak should have won, please in the comments below why you think that, but unfortunately my word is final, and Skrar's going on to the next round. But with that being said, join me in the next video, which is battle number 19, I believe. 19? Yeah, battle number 19, which are 2 more combatants fighting against each other for a spot in round 2. But with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.